Hello my friends, and welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles. And look at what we have here set up on the table. We've got some really great pieces from XM Studios. Obviously we have the Reverse Flash and also the Flash, both in quarter scale. We also have the two different torsos, which I'm going to show you guys as well. So anyway, I just want to kind of do this review here. I do have a bright light shining on these just to give you some detail. Obviously in real life it's going to be a little bit darker. But let's start with the base on Flash. Again, these are quarter scale. This is a prototype, so what you're getting will be most likely even better than this. Great paintwork on this. You have a kind of a crumbled street base, lots of different rebar effects sticking up out of the concrete, which is really cool. You have some raised areas as well. You can see it's kind of this kind of a gray, a light gray color, but then you have the white markings from the street, which is really great. So that is really fun. As we spin it around, you're going to see a lot of rebar elements, all of these giant cables sticking out, which is really great. Again, all these little pieces of rebar and you know, piping that have been just ripped out of the street, which is really, really cool. Again, all of these little rivets. So all of that looks really great, and it's all mixed in with the stone, as you can see. And we again have all of these great pieces to give it a lot of flow, to give it a lot of movement in this piece, because as you will be able to see here, Flash is definitely dynamic. He is moving. You know, he's just very, very dynamic. He does key in a couple different places. He keys in on the foot and also the other foot, so I feel like it's definitely stabilized in terms of, you know, him leaning forward. Obviously, he is lunging forward, which is exactly what you want with the Flash statue. Again, it just looks really, really great here. Let's look at some of the details. Let's start with this boot right here. Look at the texturing here. It almost looks like cracked leather. You have the bolts coming off of his foot, which looks great. I'll show you this one as well. Again, you can just really see that color differentiation there. It kind of has almost kind of like a reddish undertone to it, which is great. Again, you can see a little bit of red on his boot. The lightning bolts go off, which is great. Some people have asked, they say, Chris, does it look cheap? Does it look like it's plastic? And it is a plastic material, but it doesn't look cheap. It looks very sculpted, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But as you can see, the way that they're coming off of him, it adds, again, a lot of movement going this way. So I really like what they've done with the different bolt effects. Again, there's some of the rebar, the twisted cables. Again, it just looks really great. But I really like the way that they did the lightning effect. I think that's really, really well done. He even has the little emblems on his boots, which is fun. And then, of course, as we go up the statue itself, you're going to see it's got a great kind of a matte color. This one's a little bit shinier than the Reverse Flash, and which basically I like this one better. I do appreciate this one better than the Reverse Flash, which is weird because whenever I first saw the Reverse Flash, I actually liked the Reverse Flash more. But seeing this one in hand, I actually think I prefer this one over the Reverse Flash. Again, you can see the great level of detail there, sculpted abs. The anatomy here is really nice. I am very impressed overall with this. Again, you can see the detail, nice paint work. XM always does such a phenomenal job with the paint work. Then you have this great portrait. I think the portrait is really, really good. I think they did a really nice job with it. Very determined looking. I think the lip color is nice. It's, you know, it's not overly painted or anything like that. I just feel like they did a really nice job overall with this sculpt. Again, it's very dynamic. You know, from whatever direction you want it to be. I think that that's, again, really nicely done. And again, you just have great detail on the base as well with this. Now I'm going to push him back just a little bit because I do want to bring the extra torso up a little bit closer. So this thing is insane. It's got this great whirlwind effect, which is awesome. And then, of course, it goes into his portrait, which is right here. This right here does key in at the waist. This right here and this right here is all part of this great proximity base, basically. It's a way to display the extra torso without having to put this in the box, which is, I mean, again, just look how dynamic this thing is. It's incredible. I am going to show you what it looks like with this on the actual statue. I'll do that whenever we do the big swap here. But I did want to show you each torso just kind of independently so you can see. Again, this whirlwind is really neat. It's got white, it's got red effects, almost kind of into like some pinks. Just really nice the way it looks. It swirls. I think this base with all of the lightning, all of the bolts, I think that looks really good. I feel like this one looks better, to me at least, painted wise, than the prototype for the Reverse Flash. I feel like with the Reverse Flash, you just have a little bit. It's just a color it's a little bit difficult to love because it's this yellow, and I just think red is more pleasing in general on these statues, whereas you have a lot of yellow with Reverse Flash, and again we'll get to him in just a moment. But I do think that this looks really good. I love the sculpt on him. It's a lot more dynamic than I was expecting it to be. This, of course, is the more traditional. I mean, this pose right here. This is, when I think of Flash, I think of him running. And so I think that this will probably be the most impressive piece. I will also say that I believe this is the 1/4 scale, but I believe the 6 scale also is the exact same, except you don't get the stands. I don't think you get the swap out stands, but I do think that this is an option on the 6 scale if I remember correctly. So they're just both really cool. So again, I am going to show you what the torsos look like with the, I'm going to swap them around so you can see what that looks like here in just a moment. But I am, of course, going to show you the Reverse Flash next. But again, how cool is that with this great swirl effect? Really neat. All right, let's check out the Reverse Flash. And again, this is a really fun piece as well. Very evil looking, very dynamic again. So basically, it's like they are chasing each other, which is really cool. I love that this is basically a perfect companion piece to Flash. Again, very similar base. You have all of these great rebar effects, all of these great wires sticking up, this great metal work. Again, really nicely painted overall. There maybe could be a little bit more painted weathering on these pieces, but overall it's a nitpick. I think they did a really nice job overall. Again, you have the great concrete base. Again, very similar to the Flash's base. They're both about the same height, although you can see that Reverse Flash is a little bit taller than Flash, and I even have him up here on a turntable, so still a lot taller. So I think you want him in the back and he's chasing the Flash. I think that would be cool. Okay, so again, you have all of these great lightning bolt effects. Obviously these are going to be red compared to the Flash himself, and I believe there's a little bit more on him. I really like the way that it's coming off of his arm, his hands. Again, great sculpt, great detail. Again, you can see here on the boots, the great texturing right there, great paint. I feel like what the problem with this one is, if you could call it a problem, and it's a little bit flat. I wish it had maybe been a little bit shiny. Because I've heard people in the community, and I kind of agree with them, it's a little bit mustardy. I think that's a fair critique. But the sculpt is there. The sculpt is there, although I wish it was just maybe a little bit shiny. Because you can see on Flash where it captures the shine just a little bit. It's still matte, but it captures the light a little bit, whereas the yellow, it kind of absorbs the light, so it's a little bit more flat whenever you see it on camera. It looks better in person, of course, but again, it's very similar in terms of sculpt. Oh, I wanted to point out this. So I don't know exactly, because in all the promo art, and this is a prototype, they all had stop signs. This is clearly not a stop sign, or at least a United States stop sign. I'm not sure if this is a European sign. I feel like it is. But I'm not sure, so that is a change. So I do want to highlight that. And again, the stop sign is what they showed, at least initially in the pre-order. So again, he is lunging forward. Again, great detail. The abs are very similar. This is a very similar pose, obviously. But here he is lunging more forward. You can see the detail on his hands, which looks really great. You have, again, those lightning bolts coming off of him, and it just adds very dynamic nature. Great portrait on him. I really think the portrait is good. I think the teeth look really good. His eyes are red, so again, just very evil looking. I love that you can actually see the bolt come off of his ear, which is really neat. It's short on one side, right there you can see, and long on the other. So again, they just look really cool. I mean, again, they look like they're racing, that they're chasing each other. So I do feel like this is just the art concept is really good, in my opinion. I love it. Then, of course, you also have the alternative torso right here. And again, a good portrait overall. I do feel like I still like the Flash's portrait better. But as you can see, he's got the short ears. He's got the fist. So I think that if you have this one matched up with the Tornado Whirlwind, I think that would look really good, whereas, you know, these poses obviously are the running poses. And again, I'll swap it out here in just a bit. I feel like this one in particular, this to me doesn't look quite as good, the base. Again, it does key in right at the waist, right there at that red line. I just feel like, again, this kind of this mustard yellow, it looks a little bit too simple. I feel like maybe if there was a little bit more weathering, a little bit maybe more washing on this yellow to dirty it up a little bit, maybe I would like it a little bit more. But again, it's still fun, and it's still awesome that XM's given us this extra base to display the torsos. Because again, what else do you do? I mean, if you have two torsos, what else are you going to do with it? So I think that looks really nice there as well. Okay, so again, let me kind of come back to the statue itself and kind of give you another look. I don't have this one on the turntable, but hopefully at least it gives you an idea of what it looks like from the different angles. Again, the rock work's really nice, all this great metal work and rebar. You can see the pipe sticking up and cut off, which looks great. Again, the rock work looks really nice. I mean, look at the detail there. That's really good. Again, that just keys in. Just a fun piece. I do enjoy this one. And again, it's cooler in person than it is on camera. Definitely is a flat yellow on camera. I mean, it is in person too, but it's a little bit, it captures the light a little bit better, in my opinion. But again, I just feel like Flash is the better piece. I like the Flash. I think it's cool. Obviously, he's just more of a known character to me. I'm not a big, fan of Reverse Flash. I don't really follow him in the comics at all. So anyway, that's just me. I'm the Batman guy, So, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm also going to show you the swap out for his arm. Okay, so I swapped this out. This is, I don't know if this is like a baton or what it is. You can see the lightning edges there, which is really cool. Again, this is just something he is carrying, and it still has that same bolt coming off of his arm. Whereas you can see this one right here, again, looks really good. It has that bolt on there. So, just kind of whatever you want to do. Again, I don't know storyline-wise what this is, but it looks like a baton to me. Again, maybe somebody you Flash fans can fill me in. Again, I am the Batman guy, so I don't know a lot about the Reverse Flash. But I think that's a cool look too. I think I still prefer the hand that I had on there originally. He does not have any hand swap outs, but I am going to switch out now both of these with the full bust so you can see what that looks like. Because again, it just adds a whole different look to this, which is exciting. Okay, so I have them all swapped out here. This is what this one looks like with the the display bust stand, basically the torso stand. And then again, so this looks really cool to have them both running toward you with the stands. They both look really good in my opinion that way. But then let's go ahead and look at what it looks like with this on the body. And again, I think this looks really good, especially if you are fighting, if you are battling with the Flash. Although again, I do prefer the running portraits. I just think those look better. But this is still cool. He's got his fist balled up like he's ready to fight. He's got his hand kind of clenched, ready to go. And again, I feel like the faces are really similar, which looks great. But again, I just feel like the running pose is more dynamic to me. But this, on the other hand, I mean, come on, this thing is incredible. So if I had him like this before, where he was lunging toward us, now as you can see, he's leaning and lunging kind of backwards. So, but look how cool this is. This is really awesome at quarter scale, guys. It looks absolutely fantastic. I don't know. I think I might actually prefer this look because it's really, really well done. You see how you have all of this motion, you have all of the flow kind of shooting back at him. So if you have him over here like he's getting ready to hit, which looks really good, maybe I'll try to move those for you guys so you can see what that looks like. But come on, this looks absolutely fantastic with it like this. And it just adds a whole new statue. I mean, it's basically a whole new thing. I could even see somebody, if you're a giant Flash fan, I could see you buying two of these because it's almost like two completely separate statues. With this one, it's just so cool. I mean, imagine having this and then having a second one with just that. Again, I'm just throwing it out there. I think the idea could be really dynamic if you're a major Flash fan. And I do think this is one of the best Flashes on the market. I said it in the live unboxing that I believe I loved the Sideshow one, but I do think that this one is better. There's just so much more going on. Obviously, you have 2 torsos again, which is awesome. And I love Daniel Bell's work. I just love this. There's just so much more going on with this one, which I really appreciate. The price point, $955 USD, $955 USD for him, $955 for him, and you also get the 2 extra torsos. So I think that's not too bad of a value, considering all that you get. I will put the links down below if you're interested. It does help support the channel for that, guys. But I mean, come on, how great does this look? Oh yeah, I said I was going to swap them, reverse them a little bit so you can see what they look like fighting. So let me do that real quick. So this is what it looks like with them fighting. I mean, come on, how great is this? So you have him, lunging at the Flash. You have the Flash defending himself. So again, that's just really, really cool. Depending on how you have it displayed, it's really up to you. But either way, they pair up really nicely. This is a great pairing. Obviously, whenever you have these 2 together, that's a great pairing. I don't know, this one I think tells more of a story. But the running forward is definitely, more traditional Flash and Reverse Flash. But this is still fun. And I just think that is right there phenomenal. So I think this is a really cool piece, and I want to thank XM for sending me these prototypes. Again, it is an honor and a privilege to have these, to be able to see them. Again, my biggest nitpick, it's a little flat for sure and it just makes him a little bit more boring in terms of his paint, just because I kind of wish it had been a little bit shinier. But overall, it still works, especially when you pair it with him. But if you're going to only get one, if you're going to spend the money on one, this is the one that I would buy. I think it's very dynamic. I love both poses. I love all the lightning effects on it. It looks really great. And I mean, come on, look at this. This thing is so freaking awesome. Really, really cool. And it's just, I think it's really, really well done. I love the way they did this. And I love both torsos. I think that other torso is phenomenal as well. So anyway, that is my thoughts on these. Again, thanks to XM for sending me this. It's going to go on to the next reviewer now, unfortunately. But it's always, again, a pleasure of a lifetime to see these beautiful pieces of art in person. And I'm so glad that I get to share them with each and every one of you. Maybe if this is one that you'll never see or you're not interested in, but I always, more than anything, I like to help show these for if you're interested in buying, because I want to make sure that you are happy with what you're getting from these incredible companies. And again, XM does phenomenal work. You guys know how much I love all my samurai line up there. I've got a couple other pieces as well coming, so that's exciting. But I mean, this is really cool. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you guys think of this? Is it something that you're considering? Is it something you're considering because of this review? Please let me know. Again, Reverse Flash and Flash from XM Studios. These are the 1/4 scale prototype. They're all also available the 6 scale. I will put links down below if you're interested. And again, just let me know what you guys think. Otherwise, thank you guys so very much for checking out this video today. Again, it's just been an honor to see these in person. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon in the Batcave. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also, please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.